I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
From Touchstone Pictures, if evil has a name, it must be Doom.
Hide me, Eddie! Please!
Judge Doom. His method is murder. His passion is power.
I feel like an execution.
And no man nor rabbit dares stand in his way.
I'm looking for a murderer.
Remember, you never saw me.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
He's here.
A Steven Spielberg presentation, a Robert Zemeckis film, rated PG. Starts Wednesday, June 22nd at a theater near you.
Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review. This is another Patreon review, this time from Major Pork Chop Express, who wanted my thoughts on the 1988 film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Thank you so much to everyone who supported me on Patreon. Believe me, I'm doing my best to get these videos out to you as soon as possible before the end of the month. I really appreciate everyone who has supported me on Patreon. Really don't know how much I appreciate it. As well as the people who support me via PayPal, send in requests. If you ever want to send a request for pretty much any type of video, you do it either via Patreon or PayPal. Links are down below in the info box. If not, no worries. And yeah, I just really appreciate it. But the video for today is for a film I've enjoyed ever since I was a kid. I've always liked this movie. I did a video a little while ago about Howard the Duck, where I tried to blend different tones. I bet you in that video that a film like this, 2 years after Howard the Duck, that was George Lucas, this is Steven Spielberg producing. Spielberg, to be honest, understood that better than George Lucas. And this is a much better blending of those styles where it's wacky and it's goofy, but there's serious moments as well. Does he have the goofy moments of Roger Rabbit himself and how crazy and energetic and zany he is? The opening cartoon, and then you have that reveal of, oh shit, these are actors and this is a studio, and it's such a cool idea. A cartoon as actors among the real world. I don't know if that had been done before this. It'd be done after and stuff like Looney Tunes Back in Action among other movies, but this is probably the film that did that kind of thing the best. And the animation is well done. A monumental occasion as well, because this is something that will never happen again. That you got characters from both Disney and Warner Brothers in the same movie. I mean, to have a scene where Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny share the screen, or Donald Duck and Daffy Duck are in the same shot, like I said, you will never ever see that again. And you have the same movie that you have Dumbo and Betty Boop and all sorts of characters. It's too bad. It's too bad, but it makes the mind go, man, the possibilities if these studios actually decided, hey, let's do this more often. Like, could you imagine a road trip movie with, say, Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny? Two iconic cartoon characters, two very different personalities. Like, what would a road trip movie in the vein of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but it's Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse? Bugs Bunny would be Steve Martin, Mickey Mouse would be John Candy. I don't know. I just imagine that, those type of possibilities, and the studios don't care. But that's not the only reason why this film works. I mean, the animation's well done. It was cool that it became a detective film noir type of story. There's some seriousness. I mean, Bob Hoskins' character, he was a detective and was fine with cartoons, would go to Toon Town and help protect it, but then his brother was killed by a Toon. And, that's some deep, serious stuff. And Bob Hoskins, may he rest in peace, he did a fantastic job. I know some of the people they wanted, one was Bill Murray, and apparently from what I understand, Bill Murray's hard to find and get a hold of. I'm like, well, that's your own fault. Apparently he was mad afterward that, like, damn, I could have been in that movie. Well, that's your own fault. Also, apparently Eddie Murphy, there's an interview, I want to say it's on Inside the Actor Studio or some type of talk show, I can't remember, where they asked him about, he's like, he was so disappointed in turning that down. I can't remember if he said why he turned it down. Maybe he thought, I don't know about this, and that he saw the film and he's like, oh, I fucked up. I'm like, yeah, you did. I mean, in retrospect, yeah, it would have been really cool to see Bill Murray. Maybe one of the reasons why Bill Murray did Space Jam. And Eddie Murphy, I think that's one of the reasons why he said yes to Shrek, was because he said no to a film like this. Would have been cool to see Eddie Murphy. Would have been really cool to see Bill Murray. I have to admit, that would have been. I would love to be in the world for a good few hours to what this movie's like. To see this movie with Eddie Murphy or Bill Murray, that would be cool. But Bob Hoskins, he did a great job. He brought some heart to him. It has to be absolutely tough to keep your eye level on these different cartoons. But it believed it. It never felt like he was looking over or looking through or looking to the side. His eyes would always follow whatever cartoon character he was, which made the scenes more believable. I thought it was interesting they took place in the 40s in Los Angeles. And again, I love the idea of the cartoons being actors amongst real life people. And also it was a nice character art where Bob Hoskins' character is an alcoholic and he gets back on the horse, as they say. And pretty much he's told to look at Jessica Rabbit. And of course he's assuming Jessica Rabbit's just a rabbit. But doesn't realize it's this very thin humanoid cartoon. As she says, I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. And, I mean, granted for a cartoon, yeah, it's pretty hot looking. And voiced by Kathleen Turner, who did a solid job voicing that character. And he follows her, takes pictures of patty cake, and of course in your mind, oh, sex. But no, it's actually that kind of patty cake. Maybe that's the cartoon version of sex, I don't know. But, so that's the thing, it plays with that tone, but I thought it did a much more smoother, it walked that tightrope a lot better than Howard the Duck. And I thought it was funnier, it was better directed. Robert Zemeckis, who at this point had done Back to the Future, Romancing the Stone, after this would do films like Forrest Gump, Castaway. Robert Zemeckis is a very good director. I don't love all of his movies. I don't like What Lies Beneath, because I thought the ending I could see coming a mile away. Hell, they gave it away in the fucking trailer. Right, they gave away the entire movie of Castaway in the trailer, but that's a story I was intrigued more than What Lies Beneath. What can I tell you? I don't give a fuck about the CGI anime films that Robert Zemeckis has done. But a lot of his films back in this day are classics. And I would say this is definitely one of my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite. That might still go to Back to the Future. But this is definitely up there. And it's just cool to be in this world where Bob Hoskins is talking to the boss. He's looking out the window when Dumbo shows up. Hey, he works for peanuts. I got him on loan from Disney. Or he's going to a club and there's Donald and Daffy Duck playing the piano against each other, and they both making fun of the way the other talks. And then Bob Hoskins, reacting to Betty Boop, maybe wonder if they had a thing together in the past. Never know. And there's fun, but there's also some darkness to it. I mean, Christopher Lloyd's character, like Jeffrey Jones' villain in Howard the Duck, was laughable to me. This Doom, I mean, he was intimidating with the way he looked, with the black outfit, the glasses he wore, his inflection, his tone of his voice, and just kind of ballsy. They take this cute little cartoon shoe and they dip it in this vat. This stuff that kills cartoons and melts. And of course, it's a red shoe, so that it looks like fucking blood. Pretty risky, I mean, pretty ballsy for this type of movie. But it does show that the villains, there's a threat to the villains, there's a threat of safety, that it's not all fun and games. Roger Rabbit, I could see some people maybe being annoyed by him, by his mannerisms, or by the way he talks. But I liked the character. I'm surprised they haven't done a lot with the Roger Rabbit character. I mean, I think there were a couple films where he was in these short cartoons, but they haven't really done a lot with the character, I don't think. I know there's talks of a Roger Rabbit 2, which, to be honest, I would have been curious about. I would have been very curious to see a sequel. I know at one point there's something about Roger Rabbit and Mickey Mouse in a movie. That fell through, obviously, as quickly as it got announced. Charles Fleischer, who had bit parts in films like the original Nightmare on Elm Street, he had a bit part in. He was the voice of Roger Rabbit. And I'm trying to see, I should look this up, if there's anything else that they've done with the Roger Rabbit character. While I'm doing that, I want to look up some info on this. There's a novel, it was based on a novel. I always forget that. Who Censored Roger Rabbit, after its publication in 1981. Robert Zemeckis actually put in his services, like, hey, I'll direct it, but Disney, I don't know why my throat went, my throat's literally stopped at it. Maybe because it's horrified that Disney declined him because his 2 films bombed, including Used Cars. Used Cars is a fun movie. I mean, yeah, bombed, okay. There was test footage, and Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman voiced Roger Rabbit. Interesting. It was revamped in 1985. Sorry, I know I went silent. I just wanted to go over this real quick. Interesting. The producers were unable to acquire the rights to use Popeye, Tom and Jerry, Lil Lulu, Casper, or the Terrytoons for appearances from their respective owners. I guess they tried. That's too bad. That would have been pretty cool to see Popeye or Tom and Jerry or Casper in there. That would have been really neat. Terry Gilliam was offered the chance to direct, but he found the project too technically challenging. Good. He probably have a shitty ending like pretty much every fucking Terry Gilliam film except the one I liked, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but most of his endings are shit. Sorry, that's just my opinion. Harrison Ford was Spielberg's original choice. I did not know that. That would have been interesting, but his price was too high. Bill Murray was considered, but due to his method of receiving offers for roles, Bill Murray missed out. Eddie Murphy misunderstood the concept of cartoon characters and human beings. He later regretted his decision. Other actors considered were Chevy Chase, Robin Williams, Jack Nicholson, Sylvester Stallone, Ed Harris, Charles Grodin. I mean, Chevy Chase, maybe. Robin Williams. I would love to have seen Robin Williams. Bob Hoskins did a great job, but Robin Williams, that would have been really cool to see. That would have been really cool to see. Man. Sorry, I miss Robin Williams. I miss Robin Williams a lot, man. Christopher Lloyd was cast because he worked with Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg Back to the Future. Tim Curry originally auditioned for the role. The producers found him too terrifying for it. Christopher Lee was considered, but he turned it down. Other actors considered was John Cleese, Roddy McDowall, Eddie Deason, and Sting. I'm glad Christopher Lloyd got it. Roddy McDowall would have been interesting, but I'm glad Christopher Lloyd got it. I mean, I'm not going to read all the things. I was just curious about certain stuff like that. But yeah. Oh, I was going to look at if the Roger Rabbit has ever been Mickey's 60th birthday, some theatrical shorts. Not a lot of stuff. There was a novel called Who Censored Roger Rabbit. Small cameo appearance in Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Oh, there's a third novel, Who Whacked Roger. So, okay, there were more novels. But really nothing much in appearances. Which I find strange. You would think with a film that's successful, other than some short films, they would have done a lot more with that character. I guess not, but I just find that really strange. But I mean, a lot of fun characters. You have the cartoon Taxi Cab, who checks out Jessica Rabbit's ass a lot. Of course, I can't blame him. You have the Weasels. I like the idea that Bob Hoskins makes them laugh to death. Thought that was an interesting thing that for Toon you could laugh yourself to death. I had some intriguing imaginative ideas put into this picture. The score was well done. I believe it was Alan Silvestri who did the score, I believe. And I love the bit in Toontown and sort of Bob Hoskins' hesitation because of his, his past and what happened to his brother. And then you find out about Christopher Lloyd's character. That was pretty interesting, that reveal. And the little gadgets like the hole, like little black hole, the little mallet, like the cartoon weapons. I did a lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff in this. And I still think they could have done a sequel. I mean, technically you could do a sequel now. I mean, sadly Bob Hoskins has passed away, but hey, Eddie Murphy, I mean, if he's mad that he didn't get it the first time, he could do it again. But I don't know. I mean, the more I think about it as I'm sitting here, they probably fucked it up. A lot of times Hollywood fucks it up with sequels, especially when it's been so long in between, like Dumb and Dumber 2, which I fucking hated. Bill and Ted 3, the more I hear about the film, the less and less hope I have. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought they had little boys as kids. Now they're girls? I mean, I know it's a small thing, but I'm like, that's fucking strange. So the little girl is called Little Bill and Little Ted? Yeah, I know it's not a big deal, but stuff like that, I'm like, huh? Okay. And it just... Yeah, I know there's something to do with a war movie for Roger Rabbit 2, which I didn't understand that concept. I'm like, they're fucking cartoon characters as actors. I mean, why the fuck would you want a war picture? But I don't know. Toon Squad? I don't know what the fuck it was called. Maybe I have to read the whole thing to figure out more. Hey, Jack Craven, if you watch this, let me know, because he's a wealth of information. But I don't know what to say. It's a very imaginative, entertaining, well-animated, creative, they're almost original idea. I mean, granted, it's based on a book, but I'm just saying, a film noir 40s detective novel, then you have cartoon in there, and it strikes an actual good balance. Lo and behold, a good fucking balance between serious and goofiness. And that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do, but I thought they accomplished it fairly well. The actors did their jobs well, especially Bob Hoskins. May he rest in peace. Like I said, you'll never see a film like this again, because the studios, yeah, I know you have something like Sony and Disney working with Spider-Man, things of that nature, but with this, do you really think you ever don't see someone with Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny in the same room together? Yeah, don't hold your breath. Well, maybe Disney one day will buy Warner Brothers, since they buy fucking everything else. So maybe you will. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Obviously, you've probably seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit. If you haven't seen it in a while, check it out again. It still holds up. Thank you. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.